Welcome children. Today I am going to take your history as well as civics class. Let me first take your history class. South India and the Cholas. The rise and growth of the Chalukyas and Pallavas are dominating powers in the Deccan and the southern peninsula. The rise of the Cholas dominated the political scene in South India for more than 2 centuries. The Chera, the earliest kingdom of the south, was the Chera that extended along the western coast. The land of Cheras are referred to as Kallaputras on the rock edicts of Ashoka. The Sangam literature in Tamil includes the name of ancient rulers such as Udayanediral, Neduncherar and Senguvatram. Neduncheran defeated a powerful enemy on the Malabar coast and many other kings. Senguvatram's life and achievements are contained in the legends of those times. Paramar, a poet of the Sangam age, composed many songs in praise. In the 4th century AD, the Cheras were defeated by the Pallavas. The Pandyas, the southernmost portion of the Indian peninsula called the Pandyas, were known since ancient times. Nendujayan, the early Pandya rulers, ruled during the 3rd century AD. He defeated the confederacy of rulers including the Cheras and the Cholas. The Chera king, who was a follower of Brahminical religion and performed many sacrifices, was taken captive and thrown into a prison. Later rulers, the last quarter of the 6th century AD under Kandu the Pandyas rose to prominence. The Pallavas and the Cheras were constant rivals of the neighboring kingdom. During the early 8th century, Kochadayan Randhira conquered the Kongu country, Coimbatore and Salem. From time to time, the boundaries of the kingdom varied, but its capital at Madurai was constant. Randhira's son Maravarman Raja Sinha won for the Pallava ruler Nandivarman II without much success, but his son Varaguna won a series of victories and extended his dominions. His Srimara Srivallava was in frequent conflict with the rulers of Sri Lanka. In the early 10th century AD, the Cholas invaded and occupied their territory. Raja Simha too fled in fear, and with this the Pandya kingdom came to an end. The Cholas, since ancient times, the Cholas like the Cheras and the Pandyas are known to be based in the Kaveri Delta and spread along the Coromandel coast. The greatest ancient historical kings were Karaikara about the 3rd or the 4th century AD. The Cholas suffered severe reverses at the hands of the Pallavas, Pandyas and the Cheras. And with this I am ending my history class. Now let me take your civics class. Political parties, objectives of the major All India parties. Let me explain in gist. Meaning of political parties. Edmund Burke defines party as a body of men united for promoting the national interest upon some particular principles upon which they are all agreed. R.G. Gettle views that a political party consists of a group of citizens more or less organized who act as a political unit and who, by the use of their voting power, aim to control the government and carry out their general policies. Basically, a party has 4 features. Number 1, a certain organization, example, structure. Number 2, unity of purpose. Number 3, seizing power through votes, example, constitutional means. And number 4, if returned to power, it attempts to implement its policies and programs. The role of political parties. The parties perform many functions in a democracy. Number 1, parties mold public opinion. Public meeting, demonstration, posters and speeches over the radio and television are public affairs through which the party stimulates interest, educating people about problems the country is facing such as housing, education, poverty, tax reforms, worldwide economic depression, terrorist threat and India's relation with other countries. Number 2, parties' role in the conduct of elections. Elections to the parliament, the state legislature and to several high offices are held on party lines. Election campaigns are organized and candidates are selected through the party. The parties ensure maximum turnout of the voters. Parties run the government. The leader of the majority party or a coalition of parties is invited to form the government in a parliamentary democracy. After the formation of ministry, the parties support the government in carrying out its policies. Opposition acts as check on the government. Adequate checks on the government are exercised by the opposition parties. In a democracy, government-free and open criticism is an essential condition in the Lok Sabha or in the State Assembly. A motion expressing want of confidence in the Council of Ministers can be moved. The government falls if the motion is passed. Parties act as a unifying force. The parties unite all sections of people living in different parts of the country, as without this, it is impossible to win an election and rule a country. Parties mediate between pressure groups, various groups in a country representing various interests and demands cannot be equally satisfied. The party seeks to make compromises to ensure party unity. Parties provide a link between government and the public. Parties explain the policies of the government and to the people and convey the reactions of the people to the public official. Social reform and public welfare. The party workers do a lot of social work without being paid for it. And with this, I am ending my today's class. Goodbye.